Hey now, so listen, I'm gonna try to make this pretty quick. So I was scrolling through social media, Facebook, Instagram, what have you, and I saw a quote, and it's a quote posted on someone's page, but the quote has been around a long time. The person didn't originate the quote. And that quote, though, disrupted my soul. And I want to tell you why, because if you see it or if you've heard it before, I think it's one of those quotes that made sense back in the day. But as I sit here now, I want to just give you a different perspective for how that quote is harmful and is not useful to you, especially as a woman who's trying to be confident in the workplace. So what was the quote you say? The quote was, "We should all be as confident as a mediocre white man." Now, again, I've heard this quote several times, and there's probably a version of me, especially when I was early in my career in corporate America, that would have probably agreed with this, right? But as I sit here now, again, I just want you to think about what that's really saying, right? That we should all be as confident as a mediocre white man. And that quote is harmful to women, to all people, really, but certainly to people of color, to Black people, right? So there's no version of being our complexion or being our skin tone and pretending that we could be so bold as to even think we could have or be as confident as a mediocre white man. Now, why is that? That's because a mediocre white man is not confident. A mediocre white man understands that he has privilege. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not confidence, it's privilege. When you think about the word mediocre and confidence, those two things don't go in the same sentence, first of all, right? Like, mediocre people in and of itself are not confident people, right? Like, and when did we set the bar so low as a people, as a country, that what we're striving for is to be mediocre? I can tell you that's not what we're doing over here, right? So with that, right, the bar isn't to be mediocre. The bar isn't to want to do it the way white men do it. That narrative gives the mindset, whether you realize it or not, one, that you have to be a white man. Two, that it's okay to half-ass it, right? Be mediocre. When in and of itself, what it is privilege, right? He has the privilege of being mediocre because he's a white man. And the way the systems are set up in this country, it allows for it, right? No one else gets to be mediocre, not even white women who rise to the top, right? Like, if you want to be successful, there is something that you must possess. Now, I would never want to be one mediocre, but certainly not a mediocre white man, because based on my own experiences, the only thing outside of his privilege, that a mediocre white man has is self-doubt. He's not confident. And I know this because when I come across a mediocre white man in the workplace, he's intimidated by me. See, his mediocrity can't handle my greatness. So why would I choose to have that rather than to tap into my own confidence, my own greatness, right? And I just want you to know that there is a shift happening in the world, and with all the politics and all the noise, you might can't see it. But the days of it being okay to be a mediocre white man is coming to an end, whether they say okay or not, right? Like, the world is changing around us. The ability to navigate your career or to lead in your career, leadership in the future looks like me. Leadership in the future looks like you. Leadership in the future does not look like a mediocre white man. And remember that leadership, confidence looks like you. And then lastly, I want you to remember that you can never be confident being someone that you are not. Confidence lies within you and owning all of it, right? So that includes me owning saying what I just said here because I know it's going to rub some people the wrong way, and that's okay, right? They might not be my people, but the confident version of me that sits here today can't worry about that. I'm worried about all the people who take away that they need to have the confidence of a mediocre white man. Like, seriously, no, you do not. You need to have the confidence that what is inside of you is great all by itself. All you need to do is tap into that. All you need to do is believe in that. All you need to do is shift your mindset to know that you can take the skills, the resources, the greatness, the mind that you already have and evolve that and move that forward to be the confident person, the confident woman that you want to be, right? So no more are we trying to be or aspiring to be like anyone other than ourselves. What you bring to the table, the value you bring to the table, it must be unique, one, because if you're a believer, then you know that there can only be but one of you, even if we have similarities. And that what you bring has value, it has purpose, and it has greatness. I love you all. Let's all be as confident as the person that we thought we would be when we were 2, when we were 5, when we were little, before the world told us that we couldn't be, right? If you have always aspired to be a leader, then in 2022, let's be leaders, right? Like in 2022, we're going to continue to see this shift in the atmosphere. We're going to continue to see things move out of the way so that you can tap into your greatness. If you want help with that greatness, don't hesitate to reach out to me.